That Krishna is not limited by name or form is also a fact, because Krishna's name and form are identical with Krishna himself and therefore have unlimited potency. So when Krishna speaks of himself by saying me, we need not impose our own interpretation by saying that Krishna is speaking of an impersonal supreme consciousness. To rightly understand Bhagavad Gita, better to accept Bhagavad Gita as it is. When Krishna says me, he means just what he says, me. Me means that person speaking, who here is Lord Krishna, mentioned throughout the Bhagavad Gita as Sri Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. What sets Sanatana Dharma apart is not that it would have us believe that all gods are equal, but rather that it explains the Supreme Personality of Godhead in detail, with all his diverse opulences and potencies as mentioned in the Svateshwara Upanishad, Parasya Shaktir Vividveva Sruyate. In this way, with broad, deep understanding, one can realize that the all-encompassing presence of Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, and avoid the fanaticism sometimes seen among the narrow-minded and less well-informed. That learned men express the truth in many different ways does not mean that everything is the truth. Otherwise, what would be the need of learned men or Vedic scriptures? Rather, in various ways, all the Vedic scriptures glorify the personality of Godhead. Therefore, Sripad Madhvacharya has quoted Vede Ramanya Chaiva Purane Bharata Tata Adavante Cha Madhya Cha Harir Sarvatra Jiyate. From the very beginning, Ado, to the end, Ante Cha, as well as within the middle, Madhya Cha, all the Vedic literatures, including the Ramayana, Puranas, and Mahabharata, glorifies Hari, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You mentioned Bhagavad Gita 7:21, Yo yo yam yam tanam bhakta, and again the meaning of this verse is clear. Whatever celestial form a devotee, craving for some worldly object, chooses to worship with reverence, I, Lord Krishna, stabilize the faith of that particular devotee in that very form. So even if for worldly gain one chooses to devote oneself to one of those 330 million subordinate gods, one can only do so by the grace of the Supreme God, Lord Krishna. On the other hand, when one recognizes Lord Krishna to be ultimate source of everything and therefore surrenders to him in love and devotional service, it is Krishna himself who gives one the power to do so and thus attain him. Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. That the separate individual devas merely serve as symbols of the divine, that they don't really exist, and that therefore all paths are equal is not supported in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita 9:25, we find Yanti Deva Vata Devam Pritrin Yanti Pritrivrata Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Mad Yajanopi Mad. Here it is stated that those who worship the various devas, Lord Shiva, Ganesh, Durga, and so on, reach the abodes of the devas. Those who worship the ancestors reach the abodes where the ancestors reside. Those who worship ghosts go to live among the ghosts, and only those who worship Lord Krishna go to Krishna's supreme abode, Tad Dhamma Param Mama. If you buy a ticket from London to Glasgow, it will not take you to Paris. So too, it is not that whatever spiritual ticket one chooses will bring one to the same destination. Were all paths and choices equal, there would be no need for Lord Krishna to speak the Bhagavad Gita. He could have simply let Arjuna slink from the battlefield in disgrace and illusion. Well, the Lord could have said, that's your path, and all paths are equal, or one. Instead, he enlightens Arjuna so that Arjuna becomes Lord Krishna's surrendered devotee. Anyone can attain perfection by following the path of Sri Arjuna. As you say, Brahman cannot be imperfect because Brahman is all-encompassing, all-inclusive. But the impersonal aspect of Brahman, though transcendental, is not all-inclusive because it excludes the eternal existence of spiritual form, name, qualities, pastimes, and individuality. But the personality of God as Sri Krishna includes all these, and also includes the impersonal Brahman as one of his transcendental existence, Brahmano hi pratistaham. Therefore, when one has gone even beyond the impersonal Brahman realization to realize Brahman in the highest aspect as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, One surrenders to him in pure devotional service. Mad bhaktim labate param. As I can understand from your letter, you are already naturally attracted to Krishna and devoted to Krishna, so much so that you have even written the holy name Krishna in Devanagari on top of every page. So I hope you will forgive me if I have unintentionally said anything insolent, unmannerly, or discourteous. As devotion to Lord Krishna is already your chosen path, I am not trying to divert you. I simply hope you will follow the path further and further, and at the end of the path may you ultimately meet your Lord Kanhaiya, face to face, and become one of his eternally joyful companions in the spiritual world. Yours sincerely, Jay Advaita Swami, Hare Krishna.